So can you see yourself wanting to work into your 80s? Well, a sociologist writing for the Globe and Mail says many people choose to work because a job builds self-understanding, learning, and connection. So does this make sense to any of you?
I think that here's the question. We have a lot of teachers in the audience today. And so I say that because that is a job of service. They're not doing it for the money. They are doing it because they love the kids and they love what they're doing. I know that for sure. So there's a difference. I saw this stat which was interesting to me because I come from a long line of entrepreneurs, and I think it makes a difference if you're working for somebody else or if you're working for yourself. And I think it comes down to purpose and fulfillment. The average entrepreneur lives 6 years longer than someone who isn't. And I go, well, that means something. And there's maybe a lot of reasons behind that, but my dad is 81, turning 82 in October. And this was my dad just at the end of this past spring. And this is what my dad does.
Oh my God.
3 or 4 times a day.
So great.
What the? P.S. My dad looks like Richard Gere, I know. But he rides 2, 3, 4 horses a day. He trains, he teaches. He's up with a purpose. And I think that that's what it comes down to is I wouldn't want to work in a job that I hate because I'm making no money until I'm 80. Who wants that? But I do think that there is a nuance that if you're doing something that gives back or you feel fulfilled or you feel purpose that makes you get up every day, I think I'll be honest, I don't want to ever retire. If I could do this till 105, I'm going nowhere.
That's a bold statement.
Yeah.
They're gonna.
You got real quiet. I don't know about that.
They also have to ask you when you're 70 if you want to work when you're 80. Not when like you're further away from it, I guess. But like certainly the fulfillment part, I feel as a comedian, you know, I really love what I do, and not only purpose and fulfillment, but also creativity, because I feel like it's a great part of, you know, being human and expressing yourself is such a great deal. I hope I would never become someone who doesn't express themselves. And so as a comedian too, it's like kind of a special circumstance. We get better with experience and perspective. So I'm going to be so good when I'm 80. Like, I can't wait. I'm going to do it probably for a very long time. And I think it also depends on your attitudes towards work. So I have parents who worked like 15 hours a day, 365 hours, you know, in their own business, working in a convenience store all the time. So for me, working was living. So I've never thought about retiring. I don't know. Do you think about it regularly? I know teachers too.
I mean, I'll admit, I do. I think about different options going forward. And I think we have to acknowledge also this is a conversation of privilege. So for many people, they will have to work maybe later than they would have wanted to just because they need to. My parents also are 80 and one's turning 80 this summer. And I actually...
Retired teachers?
They're retired teachers and they retired at 55, okay?
Wow.
So they've been retired a long time and I do not know two busier people. They are ridiculously overscheduled. And so what do they fill their time with? They travel, they golf, they garden, they have social encounters. Like there's all these different things and they are happy. And so to me, when we talk about the idea of fulfillment, I do agree there are people for whom their work is entirely fulfilling. But for many people, their relationships are what are most fulfilling in their lives. So if they can retire and afford to do so, I mean, to me is the recipe. Like, that's my dream life.
You just lit up.
All of my pleasures and being able to spend time with my family and friends, like that to me is dream. So yeah, sign me up for that.
Yeah. But I think it's also important that we acknowledge that some people, even though they had a great marriage, you don't always get to grow old with your partner. People pass away and it's kind of sad, but it's also the reality of, like, we've been talking about inflation and the cost of living, and the reality is 40% of Canadians cannot afford to retire. And as much as I would like to work for the same reasons that your dad is still working, because I think it gives you a purpose to get up in the morning and somewhere to go, I want that. Even if I gotta get on a horse to do it, I'll do it.
Come on over.
I think that we can't have this conversation without talking about something that's been dominating the headlines for the past few weeks, which is President Joe Biden, who's 81, whose mental acuity and physical strength is being questioned, and whether he can last for another 4 years if he's to win this election. But it's not just him. There seems to be this weird thing going on with US politicians right now, and their desire to keep going, even though it's time for them to kind of hang it up. Nancy Pelosi, who I think, how old is, Nancy is, oh my gosh, Nancy's 84, and she's running for office again. right? Mitch McConnell, who, as we've seen, had a lot of moments at the podium, is 82, will not let go. Chuck Schumer, 73. Chuck Grassley, 90. And there's this weird thing that we're seeing with these politicians who don't want to let go of the power.
Yeah.
And what I want to still be around. I want to be vital. I want to be sharp, but I don't want to not know when it's time to hang it up and give another younger person an opportunity to take over and mentor them and help them take over what I'm doing. But I'm gonna look into that horse business because your dad's looking strong.
He's looking good.
I've only been on a horse once, but I'll get back on it.
Hey there, what did you think? Drop your comments below and join the conversation. And don't forget to like and subscribe so you can find more on everything from food and fashion to pop culture and current events. See you soon.